here today? Did
He was here. He didn't go through we just did a lot of shooting today. Show film for the most part. Had probably 45 minutes of film, but he didn't go through the shooting stuff we did at the end. No.
is he out tomorrow?
Yes.
You mentioned yesterday you'd like to get Kevin more involved. How's that happening?
Like I said, last night, even though he has fives and centers on him, we still gotta, give him touches down there and get him closer to the paint. With the amount of guys we have right now, it's hard to get him and Tristan together with a five to guard Tristan and the four guard him. But I gotta do a better job of just making sure we keep him involved in the game.
That's one solution you pointed to. When things get bogged down, as they have the last 3 second half, is there anything else you can do as a coach to?
I talked to the guys about that during the film session. Like, is there anything we can do different to help these guys out? And as a player, I struggle with that too. If you close the half and then try to get your body going again, start that third quarter. But whatever we gotta do better in the third quarter. And last 5 games, the last 3 is probably even worse. But last 5 games, we're getting outscored by 11 points in the third quarter. This team is shooting 52% from the field and 3 in the third quarter, and we're not shooting the ball well. So, we got to do a better job in that third quarter, just coming out ready to play and getting our bodies moving and going again.
Is there an explanation just for why things get bogged down in the second half of the fourth quarter?
Well, I think it starts from our third quarter. So I think once the third quarter's hit and we're not playing well, then it just kind of just snowballs. I think if we come out in that third quarter and play well and run and play through the game like we do, like in that first half, I think things will take care of itself. And but the last 4 or 5 games has been tough. So we just got to do a better job of starting the third quarter.
When things get stagnant, how much of that falls on the point guard?
No, it's not really that because we're trying to run stuff with movement, but just our bodies are not moving. Like it just that's the hardest part. When you come out, first 3 or 4 plays, you want to run plays with movement, but our bodies are not moving. So that's the hardest thing, to try to adjust and fix. But we have to fix it.
You're gonna walk through tomorrow.
At one, yeah,
Okay.
at the arena.
Did you start anything on the Thunder today?
No, well, a couple of things. We walked through a couple of things defensively, dealing with Westbrook, but outside that, not the plays of Westbrook.
This is your first look at them with Carmelo and Paul George. What's the challenge there, and how much more difficult is it to pay attention to Russ when you've got those other 2?
It's a tough challenge, Melo, who shoots the ball extremely well, is a matchup problem. Paul George the same way. I think Russ putting the pressure on the defense in transition and in the half court. And then Adams is just, a big-time screener, rolling to the basket, great offensive rebounder. So we got to do a good job, especially starting small. We got to do a good job of all 5 guys rebounding. If you can't get it, at least tapping it out so other guys can get it. So we got to be engaged as far as rebounding the basketball, especially with big Adams in the paint.
Do you intend to put LeBron on Melo? Come on, who cares? It's January.
I ain't gonna say I don't remember because you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna say no. Is that bad? That's the answer. Yeah.
Is that a correct
Yeah.
answer?
I'm not gonna say I don't remember no more. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't remember. I gotta watch the film, but for the most part, you ask me questions about it, sometimes I really don't know. But no, he's not starting on Melo.
The last couple of games, you've been using the IT LeBron pick and roll, and it seemed effective last night.
We got to get better at it.
Okay.
I think it's a little different for IT, but I think with him at the point position and Bron setting the screen, you can't switch it. You can't, if you show and get off Bron's body, you throw it to him, he's going to pick you apart. So I think down the stretch, that's one of our big go-to plays, and we've got to get better at it, and we will continue to keep working on it. But that's really a big go-to play for us down the stretch, so we just got to get better at it.
Given that IT hasn't been around for the beginning of this season, how long do you think it's going to take for them to get the chemistry on that particular play, or is it something that...
It's going to take some time. It's not really a play that's different from any other pick and roll, but I'm just saying, teams and guys don't like to leave Bron's body. So, when they do, and we in the 13, you can't go under on IT. If you go over the top and you're throwing it back to Bron, guys are off his body now, he's getting to the basket or picking you apart. So that's a big play for us that we got to get better at executing. So, and I know we will.
You seemed kind of disappointed in the second, the effort in the second half last night. You feel
Not
better?
effort. After watching the film, when I say I don't remember, just really, I don't like talking after the game to the players. I don't really like talking about the game until I watch it. And You know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, you know, after the game, but somehow I just got to find a way to get ourselves going, you know, early in the third quarter. I thought we got some stops to start the third quarter. We could have, you know, broke the game open, but offensively missed a shot, you know, had a couple turnovers, a couple bad shots. So, you know, just got to play through the game for 48 minutes.
So earlier this year, you talked about the chemistry between LeBron, Channing, and Kyle Korver. I know Channing's kind of out of the rotation right now, but LeBron and Korver, with you playing the second unit the way that you are, kind of the hockey subs, has it become too challenging to get Kyle on the court at the same time with LeBron, or is that something that you want to do more of as you go?
Not all the time, but it's just pretty much, you know, matched up based, you know, who's on the floor at the time. And that second unit, they like playing together. They have a good thing going. So, you know, with us running kind of two separate offenses, you know, it's kind of difficult, you know. So having Kyle with the second unit, and I thought he did a great job, you know, last game of just giving us that movement, giving us that energy that we needed, you know, especially when our, you know, starters struggled in the third quarter. So it just, you know, until we figure out the rotations and who's good with who, it's gonna be a process. But you know, Kyle likes that, you know, likes being that second unit, and Bron started the season said he wanted to just, you know, see how that second unit works out, you know, before we try to adjust it. And they've been great for us. I think top 4 or 5 in scoring. So we want to try to keep that unit together as much as possible.
Yeah, you might have ended up with 4 or 5 assists. I'm not sure.
Who's that? Kyle? Yeah. We showed it on film today, and I talked about, man, you can't make those passes. Now, I can't dribble, but I can pass. but it was some good passes, some good cuts by D Rose, good cuts by D Wade. He hit Tristan on the roll coming off of it. So I just think, you know, the teams are paying attention to him. He's coming off things and forcing the movement and the action. I think guys are going to open up. So it was good for that second unit to, you know, kind of play through him and off him. And he made the right reads and right passes.
Before the day before the Warrior game, you said if the guys aren't up, we're going to get embarrassed. And that was a fair comment, fair questions, because you guys have come off such a rough stretch and you're playing the best team. Coming into another tough game, do you feel better about how things have been going into this game? Like, you guys might be more ready for it?
Yeah, I do. I feel good about it. You know, I think, you know, the biggest thing, we can't let our offense dictate our defense. You know, when we're not scoring, or, you know, we got to still make sure we stop teams on the other end. I think in our first half we've been pretty good, and then second half we kind of, you know, we're not scoring the basketball. I'm not sure if it's turnovers or, you know, missed shots, but we got to do a good job of just being better defensively when we're not scoring the basketball. But the last 3 games have been a, you know, step forward. We just got to continue to keep aggressive.
There was a possession in the first half where it ended.
LeBron 3-point play.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you show that one to the guys?
Yeah, I mean, I showed pretty much a lot of offense in the first half, just ball movement, pace in our half court. Because pace is not always just, you know, in transition. It could be in your half court sets. And I thought we really did a good job in the first half of running things with pace, moving the basketball, making the extra pass, getting to the second side. And we just got to continue to do that for 48 minutes.
Did you show that LeBron behind the back bounce pass?
No, I didn't. I did. I forgot. I saw it, but I didn't show that. I don't want to encourage that too often.
Not that these guys need encouragement.
Seems pretty energetic in here. Were you like their mood?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I thought we had a good film session. Guys understand what we need to do to continue to get better, and you know, which we will. And we had a good shooting session, and getting ready for tomorrow.
I did want to ask. I mean, we didn't get very far with this last night, but as you guys are trying to work out of this, how have you been with the players? Have you been critical of them? Have you ripped them privately? Like, how have you handled this with your guys?
No, my biggest thing is to stay together. You're gonna go through tough stretches during the season, and when I get mad or pissed off, it's just more so when we don't stay together as a unit, you know, collectively. And that's just the biggest thing for me. You know, you're going to have tough times. You're not going to shoot the ball well. You're not going to guard well. You know, you're not going to play well every night. But the biggest thing to do is just stay together, be a team, and continue to have that unity. And that's the most important thing to me as a coach.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you.